my little microphone in my inside my shirt, so I don't like showing it. But anyway, so can you guys can hear me pretty good? Hey Pam, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So so we're doing like some updates, you guys. This is updates within like the last hour. Hey Art of War, how are you? So these are updates within like the last hour. Sunshine, hi, welcome. Okay, great. So these are the last updates within like the last like within the hour. So like 25 minutes ago, Cassie was grilled about cheating on Diddy with Kid Cudi. Says she didn't want him to find out. Y'all remember this situation with Kid Cudi where Kid Cudi's car got blown up? Well, they are asking her questions, so we're gonna get into it. So it says Cassie Ventura said it would have been way too dangerous if Sean Diddy Combs found out she was cheating on him with Kid Cudi. It says Ventura said she used a burner phone with Cuddy. His real name is Scott Mescudi. Even when she was on a break with Combs. Hey guy, how are you? Welcome. So I said, she said, I did not want Combs to find out. I thought it would be way too dangerous, Ventura said. She also said she could have possibly felt justified cheating on Combs with Kid Cudi since she knew that Combs was also seeing other women. It says when the Bad Boy Records founder found out about Ventura and Kid Cudi, he lunged at her. Ventura testified. He lunged, but no contact. Ventura said. Okay, so that was 25 minutes ago. 31 minutes ago, it says Diddy's fan. They're doing all kind of updates, like even outside the courthouse. Hey, Spooky. Yes, Kid Cudi. So 31 minutes ago, there was a Diddy fan that was arrested outside of the courthouse. So it says one of Sean Diddy's Combs fans hanging around outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan has been arrested. So they're going all over. Hey Victor, how are you? Welcome in. So it says some of the disgraced rap moguls, other supporters holding signs, wearing t-shirts saying free Diddy. If you guys know, there was a guy out there that was had a free Diddy shirt on. He is not Diddy's cousin. They were saying that that's Diddy's cousin, but it's not Diddy's cousin. It is Diddy's somebody who knew Diddy since I guess they were younger for like 30 something years plus or something like that. Hey Chris, welcome. Foxhound, welcome. Foxhound says, click the three dots at the top right and let's hide that person. Victor says, oh, Victor with a thumbs up. KJ says, free P. Diddy. Everybody has their own opinion. Crispy draws, thank you. I know. We have to get him out here. There's trolls. KJ says, yes, block him. Yes, I block him. Everybody has their own perspective of stuff. This is like a touch and go situation. You can't hear me, Stephanie? Can you guys hear me? Put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. Let me see. Hold on. Can you guys hear me now? I'm muted. Okay, everybody can hear me. Everybody can hear me. Okay, everybody can hear me. Okay, thank you, Laura. Hey, Laura, Elizabeth, Michael, Marble. Hey, Norman, welcome. Thank you. Okay, so everybody can hear me. Okay, so they're doing all of these updates, you guys. Shout out to New York Post is who I'm going by. They're doing like every like so often, so that's where I'm going getting my information from. So 37 minutes ago, it says, as much as you think you're Bruce Willis, you aren't. Cassie texted Diddy on the edge of tears about not being close to his kids. Cassie Ventura once messaged Sean Diddy Combs referring to Bruce Willis and Eddie Murphy's blended families as she laminated not being close to the fallen music mogul's kids. As much as you think you're Bruce Willis, you're not. Ventura wrote Combs on July 2nd, 2013. He's married, and before he was married, the family as a whole went on trips together, or just him and his woman. Eddie Murphy and Paige took his kids away on their own. So there's a lot of stuff, y'all. That's let me move this over just a little bit. That's going on. It says the R&B singer was apparently referencing how Murphy's wife, Paige Butcher, has a relationship with the comedian's children from their previous relationships. Willis also has a blended family after having children with her with first wife Demi Moore and second wife Emma Hemming Willis. Ventura's message goes on to say she had been on the edge of tears all week. Ventura clarified for the jury that she was so upset she didn't have a chance to form a relationship with the Combs kids. Excuse me. But I don't know, because maybe she didn't build a good relationship, a good rapport. But y'all, answer me this question. It doesn't look like even the girls or the kids have a relationship with Janice as the grandma. Now, I haven't seen any pictures with the grandma, Diddy's mom, and also with Diddy's mom and the kids. I haven't seen any of those pictures. Have you guys? Put a one in the chat if y'all seen any pictures with Janice Combs and the twins, the girls, the boys. I haven't seen any pictures. So to me, I feel like Diddy was kind of like isolating situations, possibly. He didn't want everybody to come together as a family. I feel like he has, his kids are over here with him, then his mom is over here, and then Cassie and whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't see. Hey James, how are you? Bonjour, comment allez-vous? um uh um so I don't know, you guys. I have no idea. But 52 minutes ago, Mike Marble says those kids are already traumatized. Yes, they are very traumatized. My baby says salute, beautiful. Hey, my baby Jamil Peterson. Stephanie says a dysfunctional family. Yes, very dysfunctional. Hey, D Dot, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Michael Marble says from the depth of their mom. Yeah, it is sad. It is very sad. So when Cassie said that, that does like kind of ring a bell, because when you do have a blended family, it is important to form relationships, right? It's very important to form relationships with the kids. You don't want to be like there at the house and it's like a whole awkward situation. Like that just doesn't sit right with me, right? But anyway, 53 minutes ago, it says Cassie keeps composed, cordial as Diddy's lawyer cross-examines, delves into sordid, the sexting situation, the sex messages, right? It says Cassie has maintained a composed, cordial demeanor while facing a harrowing cross-examination from Diddy's defense team, centered on intimate details of her Rex life with the mogul. The R&B singer tenor, with Sean Combs' defense lawyer Anna Estevao, has even been lighthearted at times as the pair shared laughs. At one point, Estevao called Cassie very beautiful and charming, drawing a laugh and smile out of her. The sometimes respectful treatment comes as Estevao tries to paint Cassie as a willing, enthusiastic participant in Diddy's depraved rug and baby oil fueled freak-offs. Cassie has testified that often humiliating freak-offs became like a job she didn't want to do, as she felt trapped by the violent Combs. Now, this is where, you guys, I'm telling you guys, I'm just saying, this is my take on it. Everybody has their own take on this situation, right? I think when Cassie said that this was like a job, I think that's where the forced labor comes in. Put a one in the chat if you guys are thinking the same thing I am. I believe when it says, when Cassie was saying that, hey Joyce, welcome. When Cassie was saying that it was like a job, and I think that's the forced labor part. Hey Chris Nicole, how are you? Chris Nicole says, hey sis, gotta hold on. Got to get back to work, but I just wanted to say I am proud of you and your Diddy coverage. Appreciate the real independent CCs out there doing their thing. Keep going, you're shining. Thank you, Chris Nicole, and you keep doing what you're doing too. I have stopped in, checked out a couple of yours, and you keep doing great things too. Yes, shout out to all the content creators that are out there and boots on the ground. Respect them 1,000% for going out there, getting coverage, bringing us the tea the best way they can, because everybody brings it different, right? And that's what I like about being a content creator. Everybody has their own sauce, brings it their own different way. So I like watching the different content creators bring the sauce, because it's very interesting, right? So thank you for that, Chris. I appreciate that. And you guys, if you guys have not, check out Chris Nicole's page, subscribe to her channel. She has great content. So check her out, subscribe to her channel, give her a shout out, and check her page out. She's has some great stuff over there. So 1 hour ago, it says Cassie testifies she was jealous of Diddy's baby mama, Kim Porter. Let me say this, y'all. Diddy, he had a slew of women, right? But he had the money, right? Some women are, chase money. I'm not, judging anybody. Never been my cup of tea, but some women are like that. They chase the money, the fame, and all this other stuff, which, like I said, I'm not judging anybody. But Diddy had Kim Porter, he had Young Miami, he had Gina, he had Cassie, he had all of them like in a certain time period. And I'm like, you had to know that Diddy was not only for you. I mean, at some point, but Cassie was very young. Maybe she was young and naive and didn't realize it, or maybe it came to a certain point where she did realize that, hey, he's not just for me. He got, Sally Sue and Marie over there somewhere, but I don't know. But anyway, it says 1 hour ago, Cassie testifies that she was jealous of Diddy's baby mama, Kim Porter. Cassie Ventura testified that she was jealous at times of Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend and the mother of their 3 children. Y'all smash the like button, smash the like button. It said, I had some jealousy towards Kim Porter. Yeah, Ventura testified. Combs dated Porter from 1994 until 2007, around the time Ventura and Combs became romantic. But you guys, after their situation, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cassie was of course with them, but at a certain time when their relationship, Diddy's and Kim's relationship, kind of was like, ending. I guess when she went to a house that he owned and he was able to still control her. From what I understand, he was still able to control her, pull surveillance, have people going over there doing this, doing that. So he was still had her under his beck and call. But I'm like, rest in peace to Kim. And I hope that, everybody gets their her family, her kids get their due justice on that situation. I don't know. They saying that Diddy has something to do with it. I don't know. They saying that, I'll be sure, is supposed to testify in reference to that situation. So we gonna see, right? Michael Marble says justice. Yes, we gonna see, you guys. And it says Ventura admitted that it upset her that Combs spent all the holidays with Porter, with whom he shared son Christian, 26, and the twins Delilah and Jesse. I have a question, y'all. Who is that girl that is in the middle of the twins? Ever since the trial has started, and this girl looks like one of Diddy's girls too. She looks like the twins. Who is this? Who is this girl? Do you guys know? I don't know who this girl is, but she was been in the trial the last couple of days. When you see the twins, she's the one in the middle, and she's holding the twins' hands. Danielle said that's his daughter. Wait, but who? That's his daughter from who? Okay, so he has a set of twins, and he has that girl. But who is her mother? Because I was looking, I was like, I don't hear people talking about that girl. So I'm trying to figure out. Let me see his daughter. Okay, so I don't know. I was just figuring out like who is her mother. I don't know. I don't know. I need to research that because I was like a little bit confused because I'm like this little girl looks like the twins. So um okay, he has four daughters. Okay, he has a set of twins, right? So he has a set of twins, and then he has um the one that looks just like him from Kim Porter. Then I know I'll be sure has Quincy, but who is that other one? I don't know. She just graduated high school. If I'm not mistaken, unsure who her mom is. Wow. Okay. Cynthia says Sarah is Chance Mammy. Cynthia, you was a mess. You was a mess. Yeah, I need to figure out because I'm like, this girl looks just like Diddy, but I never heard nobody say it or talk anything to her. Um, my pitty's name is Boo. Here's my pit bull. Looks just like him. Poor kid. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm like, where all these kids come from? He had all these kids and not married, not one of them baby mamas. That's why I said Diddy held no allegiance to not no woman, not nobody. He didn't want to be grounded to nobody. He just wanted to do what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a whole wild animal. So I don't know. Art of War says Chance Combs is the other daughter with Sarah Chapman. Okay. Stephanie says he has a set of twins and Chance and Baby Love. Okay. Okay, so her name is Chance. Cause I ain't never seen her until this Monday. Cause I'm like, who is that girl? She looks just like Diddy. She looks like the twins. I'm like, where did this one come from? Michael Marble says King Combs and Unknown Girl and the twins. Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Hi, Nicholas. Welcome. So yes, I don't know. Let's continue because I was kind of like, what? Hey, Adrian. Adrian says a testimony. I don't know. Lounge. She could have went to the police anytime and didn't. It's like she liked it. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. Everybody has their opinions. But let me say this. If you guys are not familiar with Stockholm Stockholm Syndrome is real. Like I said, I have a friend and I'm going to interview her soon. A close friend of mine had the same situation, was going through a lot of stuff like, Cassie was going through. And she just actually texted me this morning, but she dealt with a lot of that stuff. And it's like when you have Stockholm syndrome, for those who don't know, it's kind of like you are being submissive to your abuser. And it's like you keep going back. If they break up with you, you go back because you're like in your mind, like, I feel bad, why, I should leave him. I should go back because I feel sorry for him. It's like a Stockholm syndrome is like a serious thing. So I'm saying, she did. It's kind of like, you have one side and then you have another side. That's just how I feel. Cassie, yes, she was young. She got into the situation with Diddy, relationship, whatever you want to call it, situationship, because I don't know what it was, but she got into a situationship with Diddy. Then it was like, to me, and let me just say this, I'm thinking, this is just me. I'm thinking the Rex trafficking is what they're saying is because Cassie went here, she went there, she went this place, that place with Diddy, or was flown there or whatever, maybe told to go there, and then she was doing the freak offs, and then they were having the Rex workers come, and they were paying the Rex workers. That's prostitution. Paying for Rex, that's prostitution. So it's like, yeah, it's just a lot going in. It's a lot of like kind of like, a lot of intertwined like things going on. So, Cassie, I'm not saying she's an innocent person, an innocent bystander by no means, but I do believe that she is a victim because, for one, she was young. You know, like I said, it's not my cup of tea, never been my cup of tea to jump on the bandwagon. Some man got money or whatever. It is what it is. I'm not judging anybody, but some women just are like that. Hey, let me. And then she wanted to make a come up. She was singing. So she was at the point where she was like, maybe I can, break up with this boyfriend and go with Diddy because, he can probably make me, take me, all the way up to the top. So that's probably was her mental, thinking at a young age. But I feel like he did groom her. I really feel that he groomed her because she was very young. He was like 17 or 20 years older than her, but got her hooked on the rugs and all this other stuff, starting to do these freak offs, starting to do all these things. But I was also researching, you guys. I was also researching that this Rex magic stuff. Have you guys heard of that? All this, bodily fluids, he wanting the guys to don't use no protection with Cassie, and then wanting them to spray their bodily fluids inside of her, and then take it out when she goes to the next room and put it on his nipples, all kind of. That is like some kind of like demonic thing that I was listening about on some videos. And I was like, oh, this is some kind of Rex magic demonic stuff. Talking about the manly fluids is like tries to I don't know. It was crazy when I heard it. I just heard it this morning. I was like, oh my God, why would somebody want to do that? Why would another man want to put another man's bodily fluid on them? Sounds disgusting for one. Like, I'm like a whole germaphobe. Like, ew, that is so disgusting. And then for two, it's like, why is it necessary for you to feel like you have to get these powers when you already got all this money? Like, what other powers do you want? Like, you have all the money and the power already. Like, what others, like, us? I don't know. Weird. Hey, Ray Love, how are you? Ray says the nasty and diabolical. Yes. Marvina says he's a sick puppy. Yes. Aaliyah, demonic for sure. Yes. Stephanie says straight deviant. Yes, I'm telling you, when I seen that about the Rex, cults and stuff like that, I'm like, these people are disgusting. Like, where they do that at? But everybody, different folks for different strokes. I always say, I'm not mad. I'm just like this, a little, stomach upset when I heard that. I'm like, ooh, like, ew, that is so nasty. That is disgusting. But to each their own, right? Who am I, right? I'm not, ill, but yeah, like you it's like you don't want to go to nobody's house sitting on the couch or anything like that. For me, like I want to I know you're a whole freak off, you like to do all that nasty stuff. I don't want to even come to you, step foot in your house. Like, ew, like disgusting. I'm just saying, y'all. But anyway, y'all, let's get back to it. Let me see if there's been any more updates, because those are like, let me see, because they're updating like every let me see. I smell bleach. I guess doing laundry, I love the smell of bleach, y'all. I love cleaning with bleach. Like, I'm like, I smell bleach. But okay, that's like 1 hour ago, 2 hours ago. But did you guys also hear when Diddy and some guy gave Cassie a showering, what they call it, or something shower, like urinating on her? I was like, oh my God. And then Cassie also testified and said that she had so many sores in her mouth from, doing, that. Yes, Leah, golden shower. Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, the golden shower. From doing all these, the things, with these men, that she has so many sores in her mouth. Her vajayjay was on fire. And Diddy still was making her do things. I'm like, how could you? I couldn't imagine. Like, that to me, that was horrible, you guys. I gotta say, that was horrible. That was really horrible, y'all. That was horrible. And I can see when people say Cassie could have left. Yeah, she could have left. But at the same time, if you don't know, some people with the Stockholm syndrome, I have some friends that have that. I have some friends that have the Stockholm syndrome. I'm like, girl, I don't know how you could deal with that, because I would be out of there. in a hot New York minute. I'm not putting up with that. But when you have a Stockholm syndrome and you are like submissive to like your abuser, the person that is doing all this stuff to you, it's hard for them to see things like the straight way because they've been broken down. These people have been broken down by their abusers. And the only way they know is, and you can tell too. Any of you guys have friends that have been in a situation like this? You ask them to go and hang out, and they're like, "Oh, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I gotta see what's on my schedule or something." And it's like they move in a funny way, and you're like, this is kind of strange. Like, this person before they got with this narcissist, and you're like, that's not how they move. And then you start to see them trying to, like, kind of isolate or not talk to you as much, not try to text you as much. And you notice a change. But the Stockholm syndrome, you guys, I could say that is a real thing. I've seen it before. Trust me. Dida says she didn't want to leave the lifestyle. That could be true too. She felt like well, I'm living all this glory, glory and glam. That's what I'm saying. It's like kind of like a two-sided house for me, you guys. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but I kind of feel like it's a two-sided house because it's like I can understand her being young, being groomed, having Stockholm syndrome, and trying to, because she said she loved him so much, she just wanted to be with him. So she felt like, pretty much from what I gathered, doing the freak offs, trying to like entice him with her saying, "Oh yeah, I want to do the freak offs. I want to do." She thought, to me, from what I'm gathering, and this is just my opinion, it was like she was trying to make him happy because she wanted to love him. She wanted to, make him happy. She wanted to spend time with him and do, what she thought he wanted her to do. Pretty much. That's just me, how I'm feeling and understanding her. But at the same time, it's like, Cassie, you could have left. She did have her own apartment. She could have, I would have, for me, I would have been out of there. But like I said, Stockholm syndrome is real. She was probably isolated, probably broke. Diddy seems like he broke her all the way down. But like I said, it's like I'm thinking of it in like two different ways. Like, she could have left. Then at the same time, Diddy was scaring her, taunting her, doing all kind of stuff. And then, like, and I know you guys probably seen this too, where the narcissist, he will like abuse a person, right? And could be a male or a female narcissist. They'll abuse the person, their victim. Then they be like, "Oh, baby, I'm sorry. Let me go to the store and buy you some diamonds, or let me go to the store and buy you a purse, or let me go take you out to eat, or we're gonna go on a vacation." That's what these narcissists do. Like, these are like, this is like a serious thing, being like dealing with a narcissist, right? Because let me say, he is an abusive person, point blank, period. He was beating up the coach at his kids' coach. He was beating up the guy at the what was it? Not the recording studio, but the like Universal, whatever they call it, record studios. He has an abusive um problem. Like, he seems like he thrives off of that, and he gets off on that because in one of the situations, I think it was on day one, they were saying, "Are you cleaning with bleach?" No. Oh, okay. I just smell bleach. They are saying that what Cassie was saying, that he was basically wanting her to, have Rex with another guy while he watched, while he had a bandana on. He was behind, hiding in the corner, and while he was choking his chicken, if y'all know what I mean, and doing all kind of stuff, just watching, looking, lurking. And then one time, from what I understand from her testifying, that she was, he was, beating her. Then she ran to the Rex worker, and then the Rex worker and Cassie, I guess they started, kind of going, falling and having Rex or whatever. But it's like, did he like to do, like, he liked to, he liked to abuse. He liked to see her in a I don't know, in a hurtful like state. I don't know. That's just weird to me. I don't know. Chris Hansen said 12 months ago, you all loved the guy. Marble says it's an abusive personality. Yes, it's an yes. Is that what it's called, Michael? I never checked in that, but I'm like, he is very abusive with Kim Porter, with Gina, all these people, right? Um, Haley says, yeah, leave, and then he sends people to her house, or he shows up there. She tried to leave, and he beat her up and yes. Did y'all yesterday also? I heard somebody was reporting that I don't know if Cassie was at her house or was at, I think Cassie was at her house, and she had a friend. Diddy took a wooden hanger and popped the friend in the head. And then the girl was like, I'm gone. I'm out of here. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Welcome. He popped Cassie's friend with a wooden hanger in the back of her head. Y'all, if that was my friend's boyfriend, it would have been a rumble in the Bronx. We would have tore that apartment up. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. It would have been, somebody would have had to call 911 to come and get him. Because if one of my friends, boyfriends would have hit me, could y'all imagine, ladies in the building? Could y'all imagine if y'all had a friend and the boyfriend was narcissistic, and you was at your friend's house and the boyfriend came over and got a wooden hanger and bopped you in the back of your head? Y'all, this Joker, when I say Diddy is a whole monster, he is a monster. When I heard that yesterday, I was like, this Joker is shot out. He is abusing Cassie and abusing her friends too. I was like, whoa. And she was a white girl. Yes, human nature. Yes, that's what they said. She was a white girl. They said she was a white girl. Y'all, I'm telling you, it would have been a rumble in the Bronx if my friend's narcissistic boyfriend would have came and bopped me in the back of my head with a wooden hanger. You know, them wooden hangers, they be kind of thick. I would have been, oh my God. My twin, you know, I'm a Gemini. The twin would have came out the closet. The twin would have came out the closet. I mean, I would have. I'm telling you guys. I would have went. I wouldn't have just left. Oh no, I'm just leaving. I'm leaving because you and your boyfriend is crazy. No, no. He thinks he's gonna lay hands. I'm gonna have to show him that I can lay hands too, and not with the hanger. I would have went to that kitchen, got a pot or something like. I would have popped him upside his head. I'm telling you, I would have not left that apartment without a fight. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And especially knowing her friend probably knew that he was, abusing her, doing all these things, and then he comes after her. Y'all, I tell you, it would have been some furniture moving. I'm telling you, curtains and everything would have been ripped off the wall, off the rod. I would have probably took the rod if she had curtains, and I would have took that rod and busted him upside his head. But y'all, we try, let me bring it back in, y'all. Let me bring it back in, because I'm not no abusive person, but boy, somebody do something to make somebody put their hands on me. You best believe the lounge from 20-30 years ago is busting out the closet. Her twin is coming out. I'm just saying, y'all, the twin is coming out the closets. The twin will be out in full effect. He probably would have been like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bust you in your head. I bet you are sorry, Joker. I bet you are sorry. Because it wouldn't have been a nice situation with me. I'm just saying. Tabby says Diddy knew he could get away with that issue with her. I know, Tabby, because it sure wouldn't have been me. No, honey baby chicken child. Absolutely not. Michael says you gotta read Kim's book. I know they said that there's a book, they have books that are going on Amazon, but there's so many Kim Porter books on Amazon. If y'all can recommend me a book please let me know. Put it in this live in the comment box, because there are so many Kim Porter books. I'm like, well, what's to believe? Who can you believe? There's all these people just writing books. Like, were they there? I just like valid information. Tammy says, I didn't hear about him putting hands on Jay or I know, right? Because let me say this, Cassie was very young when he got Cassie was young when Diddy and her got together. So I feel like he groomed her up to what he wanted her to be, right? Like he groomed her and did what he wanted to do with her. So, and then intimidated her and did things. But Miami, what's her name? Miami, whatever. She is already seemed like, a street girl to me. She was, I don't know. I never really watched her, but just the way the kind of like the impression that she gives me is like she was like a street girl, and Diddy knew what he could push to the limit. A man knows what he can push, to the limits on certain women, right? Certain women, you can push the button all the way. Certain women, he knew he could only push a little bit. So he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, right? He knew. And to me, Cassie was very beautiful. I mean, is still very beautiful, right? Chief J says she's a city girl. Yes, she's a city girl. Jay says Lo needs to be prosecuted for having okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Steven says I just heard something about her yesterday too, you guys. Yesterday evening. I didn't know that Jayla was into the Rex like cult stuff too, and that one of her husbands basically was telling it. One of the ones that she got a divorce from was telling it. Y'all know she had 11 husbands, so I can't even remember which one. But one of them said that he exposed her for being in that like Rex cult with that crazy freak off and doing all that crazy stuff. I was like, whoa, what is going on? Tammy says J-Ho gotta be on some tapes. Oh yeah, she's on them tapes, baby. She is absolutely on the tapes. Sid says Jennifer Lopez is evil. She should have helped Cassie and told her to stay clear. Yeah, but Jennifer Lopez was in with the shenanigans too. You can't tell me that she didn't know what Diddy. Come on now. We all know. What our partners, how they are. If they are cheaters, if they're out there, looking at other women, trying to get with them too, trying to do all this slick, shady stuff. We know our partners. And when you just meet somebody and you try to, fill them out, it's only a matter of time before the onion starts peeling back, right? Like the men, like you see, you have the woman. Is she got in her eyes like staring at other men? Is she up in other men's faces? Is she trying to hug up on other men? And for the same thing for the like the women, is your man in other women's faces? Is he doing the most? Trying to hug and look and trying to, sneak out and trying to go do this or whatever. We know what we got. But it is crazy. It is crazy, some of this stuff. Then when Cassie was testifying about the sores in her mouth, and then but JJ was on fire, I couldn't believe it. I was like, even going to the bathroom, from what I hear, having like UTIs and all that, it's like a burning already sensation. So to be making somebody have Rex while they is on fire downstairs, like, this girl is on fire. That's crazy. That is crazy. Hey DW, welcome. That is crazy. And then the mouth was on fire, downstairs was on fire. I mean, everything was on fire, and he was still making her work. She was burning. Yes, D-Dot says burning flames. Yeah, because he did not want her to use a condom with any of those Rex workers. And then one of the Rex workers, he said he wanted Cassie's he wanted her medical record, and he was never provided that. Tammy says sores in her mouth. Yes. I had to look that up because I can imagine. I've never seen any pictures or you know been around people that had those type of situations. So I'm like, I want to see what that has to be like. Is that the herpes simplex 1 or 2? I don't know. Is it like the AIDS package? I mean, she had to have something in her medical. I can imagine, but HIPAA, you can't see and get access to people's medical records, but they said Diddy had control of all of that. Diddy had control of all of that. I don't know. Michael says that's gonna ooh yeah 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 yeah. Oh my god. Ooh. Yeah, when I heard that, I was just starting to cringe inside. I was like, what? I mean, that's sad. That is very sad. And the thing that the prosecution is trying to show is her trying to leave, like when in the hotel, her trying to leave and Diddy trying to stop her from leaving. That is kidnapping. When you don't allow somebody to leave, you trying to hold them hostage, that's kidnapping. Even when somebody's trying to call 911 and you're stopping them from calling 911, that's a crime too. So I don't. This is crazy. Tammy says, "Who freaks off with no protection inside?" I know. That's why I said, "What? Who? We love everybody. We not knocking nobody here at the lounge on how they get their money, how they pay their bills. But people have to be smart when they do something. That's just like somebody drinking and driving. You already know what the consequences of that. Either a car crash. Somebody could be unalive. All you have to do is call an Uber. All you have to do is wear a condom, right? Hey, Laura Lee, welcome. All you have to do is wear a condom. But I told you guys, I said I was going to try to reach out to Trojan and see if I can deliver a whole truckload to Hollywood to bring them some condoms. But it would be like a waste of time and money because they probably would have been like, we don't know what them is. Get them out of here. They're like foreign objects to them. Nobody wants to use condoms in Hollywood. Nobody. Nobody. Diddy didn't want none of them to use no condoms because he wanted the men to, skeet skeet in the woman, in Cassie. And then he wanted to go in there and get the juice and put it on his nipples. Y'all, when I say that is disgusting. And then she had them sores. If she had them sores in her mouth, she had to have the sores possibly downstairs too. I'm just saying. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yes, Ray Love, that is nasty, right? I'm telling you, this situation, they're saying that from what I'm gathering, they're saying that the cross-examination that the Diddy's lawyer is not being too like hard on her, like coming, well, what did you do? They're not. They're saying that they're not being like rough with her, but they're just asking her these questions. But the questions are like woo woo woo. So I mean, this, like I said, this is like a touch and go type of situation. Me and my baby plan to go back out there, and we're gonna give go and see, and then of course bring you guys the tea as far as like what's going on in the courthouse. But this okay, let's get back to some updates, you guys. So this was, let me see, hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so 31 minutes ago, it says, who is Anna Estevao, Diddy's lawyer, leading cross-examination of Cassie? So it says, Anna Estevao is a lawyer of Sean Diddy Combs' legal team grilling Cassie on cross-examination. She's listed as a partner at New York's Harris Triscomi LLP law firm specializing in the defense of individuals and organizations in high-stake white-collar and criminal matters. So that was 32 minutes ago. So 23 minutes ago, Cassie reveals Diddy's jealousy suspected she had a relationship with Creed, star of Michael B. Jordan. That's coming out right now, you guys. 23 minutes ago. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all the tea. Hold up, let's see what it says. A jealous Diddy suspected that Cassie had a relationship with Creed actor John B. Jordan. Cassie Ventura, while testifying about about infidelities and jealousy during her decade-long relationship with Sean Combs, casually dropped another A-list star's name. Combs suspected you were in a relationship with someone else. Who was that? Asked the defense attorney Ann Estevao. Michael B. Jordan, Ventura responded. Ventura also testified that Combs had been enraged over her short-lived relationship with rapper Kid Cudi. She acknowledged she carried on the affair in part of a retaliate against Combs' own infidelity. So she was basically trying to say that she was trying to, get Diddy back. That was 24 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago, Diddy and Cassie called each other get high partners, she says, while being grilled about rug use. Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura called each other get high partners. She testified while being grilled by his attorney about their rug use. Part of the reason you wanted to participate in the freak-offs was to have your time with him. It was a special time with him you cherished, Combs' attorney Anna Estevao asked. Yes, Ventura replied, repeating the one-word answer when Estevao then asked, it was a time to connect with him. It says, did you ever call each other get high partners? She continued, to which Ventura also replied, yes. Estevao then noted there were periods when Combs didn't approve of Ventura using rugs, including opioids. Ventura has previously testified that rugs was a big part of the twisted freak-offs Combs allegedly coerced her to partake in. Recalling one terrifying incident where she woke up naked in the shower after ingesting GHB during one of the 6 Rex sessions. Oh my God. She says she developed an on again, off again opioid addiction, relying on pills to help her feel numb. After taking part in the freak off, she said that she had to take opioids just to numb her body after the freak offs. Y'all know they said those freak offs was lasting like 36 to 48 hours. And the GHB, remember they said that's what the baby oil was tainted with the GHB? Remember? They said they sent that to the laboratory, and they got that tested. Y'all, I don't know. 8 minutes ago. This is current, you guys. This is live, current. 8 minutes ago. Come and find out. Cassie quips at Diddy's lawyer when asked about so-called rehab. Cassie Ventura quipped it, come and find out when Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer Anna Estevao asked her about so-called rehab. It's not a rehab facility. It's a spa. Ventura told the defense attorney. Come and find out. Estevao had been asking her about her rug use and getting treated in rehab and by life coaches. Ventura admitted that she once went to a rehab in Sedona, Arizona in 2017, but it didn't stick. And after she got out, she took part in another freak off with Combs. So she went to rehab in Arizona in 2017. and then got out and then had another freak off. So all that treatment that she had went for didn't, I guess, stick. Wow. 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 Ventura hasn't lost her cool at all during the marathon grilling, but her answers have gotten shorter and more intense. For example, when Estevao implied that Ventura was Combs' number 2 woman after his baby mama, Kim Porter, Ventura offered a very quick response, muttering, At another point, Ventura suggested the jury wasn't hearing the full content of the full context of the messages between her and Combs. This isn't what I feel is relevant right now. Oh, Ventura was snapping back. Cassie was snapping back at Estevao, Diddy's lawyer, when she was being questioned. It says, this isn't what I feel is relevant right now, Ventura said. There's a whole lot that we skipped over. Cassie's getting a little, she's like, y'all better stop playing with me. I'm about to have this baby on the stand. 9 minutes ago, this is current, 9 minutes ago, Cassie testifies about night Diddy OD'd and Cassie testifies about night Diddy OD'd on opioids after Playboy Mansion party. Sean Diddy Combs' attorney asked Cassie Ventura if she remembered the night he overdosed on opioids in February 2012. Was that around the time Whitney Houston died? I believe so, Ventura replied. That evening, we had a freak off. We went to a Rex Club in San Bernardino, and then he had a party at the Playboy Mansion that night, and I went home. She later said, from what he told me, he took a really strong opioid that night, but we didn't know what happened, so we took him to the hospital. Combs' lawyer later asked, during the entire duration of your relationship, you two were addicted to painkillers. Cassie replied, very much so. Wow. 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 And that's the latest. And that was 11 minutes ago. Wow. So Diddy took some kind of opioid, then rushed him to the hospital. I would have took him to the hospital and dropped them off and said, I don't know. And that could have been her way to escape. But like I said, Stockholm syndrome is real. I would have took him to the hospital and would have said, oh, I'm just dropping him off. Or that, what's your relationship? Oh, I just, there's somebody I knew. I was visiting him at his house and he was, felt like he had to pop some opioids, but, he's having a problem. But here he is. Excuse me. I would have dropped his little raggedy butt off at the hospital, right at the ER, and I would have been out of there. And that would have been probably the last time he would have seen me. That was in 2012. So that was mostly during the beginning of their relationship. Tammy said she probably thought he would find her. That's true too. But let me tell you, we all have that one friend or one family member, even if you ain't talked to them in a long time, that she could have possibly ran to. Because I'm sure her mom's address, he probably had that. The brother's address, he probably had that. The grandma, any of her aunties, she probably had that. But I would have dropped his raggedy tail off and said I don't know what happened to him. Can you just take him in because it looked like he ain't breathing or he's gasping for some air? Can you just go check and see what's wrong with him? And I would have peeled out of there. I would have been gone. I'm telling you, that was a perfect time for her to leave. Laura says, drive to the emergency room, kick him out the car, and bounce high speed. Yes, Laura Lee. I would have been like, if they would have started asking me questions, I would have hurried up and gave them like one answer responses, and I would have been out of there. I would have been calling my cousin that he ain't had no clue about. I would have been calling one of my friends that I ain't talked to in so long. Look, girl, I'm trying to escape this situation. I need you. Hey, look, can I please come to your house? I'm really in a bad situation. Please help me out. It's rough. It's terrible. But I know that he don't know where you live. He don't even know nothing about you. I'm telling you, I would have made some connections. I would have been out there. But like I said, she was young in 2012. She was very young at that time. But I'm telling you, y'all, I be thinking way like ahead, of the situation sometimes. I mean, you have to, but we're older now. Cassie was young. She wasn't thinking like, she probably would even be thinking, at that age and that time. But I'm telling you, I would have been out there. I'm telling you, I would have dropped. Oh man, I would have been like, okay, that's enough questions. I got to go. I got another emergency, or I got for important phone call. I got to go. And I would have been, I'll tell you, I would have been gone. Tammy says she watched him dangle her friend off a balcony. Yes. Tammy, is that the same friend that he bopped over the head with that hanger? Makes you wonder. Oh, hold on. We got a new update. Hold on, let me see. We got a new update. Okay, hold on. I think that was the newest update 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago, you guys. Yeah, that was the latest update. Hold on. Hold on, let's see. My little pages have to repopulate. But this is, I don't know, y'all. Like I said, this is a touch and go type of situation. Yeah, that was the last update, which was 15 minutes ago. So I'm waiting for more updates, you guys. So they're live and they're updating this as the information is coming in, because you guys know in federal court, of course, we all know there's no cameras in there. So they have to run inside and outside to go and deliver information. They are a few channel news stations, a few like journalists, news companies, or whatever news channel stations, whatever, that are able to have like their digital stuff in there. But it's like, I think 3 or 4. So this, I think this right here is the New York Post. I'm not sure if the New York Post is one of them, but they're updating like every time that they get a chance. They're updating. Laura Lee says, I was naive 2 years ago. Yes, we all were. Look, we all were naive years ago, right, Laura Lee? We were all naive, right? When we were 19 and 20, we didn't know, some of us, we didn't even know what this big world had entailed. We didn't even know that all these crazy things could possibly happen, right? We didn't know about that. We didn't know. We didn't know, right? We didn't know about that. Jamil says you could be naive. That's understandable, but when you're grown, you are grown. That's true too. But when you have the Stockholm syndrome, that's what I'm saying. It's like a two thing. Like, I kind of box it in two different ways. Sid said I was busy with university studies. Oh, AP, hey, how are you? So yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, you guys, there is so much. Um, it is so much to dealing with this situation, because it is so much that it entails. And like I said, some of the stuff people are saying, well, I don't understand how he's getting charged, for Rex trafficking, because he was taking Cassie here and there and having Rex and making her have Rex at certain times, certain points, making her have Rex while her mouth was sore, while her vagina was on fire, and making her do that while she was like, her body was in a sickly state. And then he was paying Rex workers to come and have Rex with her while he watched. That's where the Rex trafficking comes in. And then the forced labor is when she said it was like a job. So we have to pay attention. We have to pay attention, right? I'm telling you, we have to pay attention to words. Words are very powerful. Sometimes somebody could tell you something and you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, uh-huh. But when you go and you sit and you think about it, like, this person said this to me. Oh, no, that was a subliminal message. So we have to, hey, Kathy, how are you? We have to remember these words, that one word, those two words, a job, worked when she was having, Rex and Diddy was making her do this, had sores in her mouth for, her Cuda was on fire. And she said it was like a job, and then it take her, like days, like, it's crazy. She had to recover. She had to get like what's it called? The IVs, get rehydrated. Could y'all imagine? Could y'all imagine doing that for days at a time? Days at a time. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. Days at a time. The Cuda is on fire. The mouth is on fire. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But let me see something. Let me see, as these updates are coming in. D-Dot said that's crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. I'm telling you, these people, I'm telling you, a lot of Hollywood people, they are being brought to an open shame, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people, a lot of other probably females that, are probably in the same situation. I mean, let's be for real, let's be honest, because Hollywood has been turned upside down since last year, right? But at the same time, we have to know that you have the choice to leave. Let me see. Okay, the last update is about the mansion, which we said. Did he try to take these opioids? Did he try to wait? Hold up. Did he try to take these opioids to try to make Cassie feel sorry? Because narcissists, they will do that. They will try to do something to bring on some kind of medical situation just so you can feel sorry for them. Was it a real one? Yes, Dida says abusive control. Yes. Sid said that's torture. Yes, that is. Yes, that is torture. Uh-oh, hold on. I think it says, let's see. That is torture. And I couldn't believe the golden showers. Y'all, when I heard that, the first thing I thought about was R. Kelly. R. Kelly, when he was giving the golden showers to them little girls, I was like, really? Is that what y'all like to do? Mess with them little girls like that? It's crazy. It is really crazy, right? It is absolutely, yes. Sid says nasty and demons. Yes. They are like nasty. They're demonic. Dida says R. Kelly was doing the slip and slide. Yeah, Dida, he was doing the slip and slide. I mean, the funky Watusi. And they even said he had women that he was locking up. And what is going on with these people that like to lock up women? Like, what is a control? Like, why is it that you have to have control? Those are like narcissistic tendencies. Those are narcissistic tendencies. They are narcissistic tendencies. Let me see. That these people have. It's like, why would you want to control somebody? Go get a dog. Go get a little rat or a mouse or something. Go get something that you can control. Like a human being, their parents already raised them, or whoever, guardian already raised them. Hey, Shannon, welcome. Laura Lee says yes, they would. I knew somebody who pretended to pass at couples parties because he didn't have a date. They crazy. I'm telling you, that is crazy. I know, right? Oh, thank you, Tammy. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm telling you. It is let's see. It is really, let me see. Let me see. Yeah, it's really crazy, but that's how narcissists, that's how they do, right? Let me see. Um, let's check. Um, Sid said, great coverage of the Diddy trial, sister. Bravo. Thank you, Sid. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're trying to see if there's any updates, because I'm updating you guys as this is getting updated, as they're bringing, because like I said already before, there's no cameras in the federal court, so they have to take notes and run the notes back out so they can so they can report back. Shiloh, hey, how are you? Happy Thursday to you too, hon. Let's see. Let's see. But me and my baby plan to go back out there. So, y'all, we will be bringing you guys coverage. We will be boots on ground. Shout out to all the content creators that's out there that is getting all the tea. Everybody brings it different, which, different folks for different strokes. Everybody's doing a great job bringing all the updates. So, where's the one from today? Let me see. Let me see. Okay, we went into a whole different ball game. But all this stuff, hey Gary, all this stuff that I've been hearing, y'all put a one in the chat if some of this stuff is kind of like really like, I mean, low down and disgusting. Put a one in the chat if what we heard about the disgusting stuff is really like nasty and low down. Put a one in there. Yeah, Laura Lee Facts. Yeah, she's out there getting it. Like there's like a couple of them out there getting it. I'm like, y'all is, shout out to y'all. Y'all is out there putting in the work. Y'all is putting in the work. I love it. I love it. Gary put a one. Shine. Danielle, Tammy. Yes, yes, absolutely. Let me see. I'm trying to get back to the page where let me see. I'm trying to get back to the page where the updates are going on. Let's see. Um let me see. Dang, today is already the 15th of 2020. Oh my God, y'all. Didn't it seem like Christmas was just yesterday? Did I put a one? Michael put a one. Gary said in the world we live in, he'll probably get away scot-free. I don't think so. I don't think so. I do not think so. I think the feds I think they got a good case. It's going to be tough anyway, regardless when it comes to cross examination. But I think Diddy's back is up against the wall. I'm just saying because, like I said, when the feds, okay, 27 minutes ago, okay, we're back at the page. When the feds have a case upon you, they're not just doing all of this for GP, right? Gary said reminds me of R. Kelly. Oh yes. Tammy says Diddy's crossing his fingers for a bitch trial. I know, right? They said yesterday was a rough day for Diddy in the courtroom, y'all. They said he was scraping and scrambling. I mean, he looked like he was nervous. He was like, oh my God, having like anxiety attacks. They said yesterday was a great day for the prosecution and the worst day so far for the defense. They are saying Diddy was scraping and scrambling. I mean, he was nervous, moving in his chair up, down. I mean, he was having a bad day yesterday. I was like, good for him. Because a lot of people didn't have bad days. I'm talking about all his music artists, Mace, making of the band. I mean, Cassie's, Kim Porter, rest in peace. So now it's your time, Diddy, to scrape and scramble. Hey, love it myself. It's your time to scrape and scramble, sir. So I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. Because if you were a great person, you would have took your career and try to help people instead of trying to rob people, trying to get over on people, try to steal from them, seeing them suffer. That's crazy, right? That is really crazy. That's crazy. So I don't feel sorry for him. And his mom, I don't like to be, I'm very, very respectful, right? Very respectful of my elders. But his mom, I'm sorry. Just bad excuse for a mother. Like, there's no way I would ever, if I heard one inkling bad thing that my son is doing out there, acting crazy, doing this and doing that, hurting people, I would have to cut him off. I'm sorry. I would have been like, I did not raise you like that. I did not raise you like that. You want to be out there in the streets acting crazy, beating people up, acting a fool? Go ahead. But I don't want to be associated with you being my son. Uh-uh. Because that's what people, a good mother in their right mind is not going to entertain any other children or anybody out there knowing they're treating and doing people wrong and entertaining them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, Jean Lomax, yes, you are right. You are so right. Dayon says the best mom alive. Oh, thank you. Tammy says his mama is proud of him too, though. I know, right? She's up there with her little bad looking Timu wigs. Look like it needs some, some spray. Knowing that your son is a demonic entity. I'm sorry, he had so, and then she was in on it. Cause didn't May say that she is the one who owns like some of the publishing to his before I think he got it? She was in with all of this stuff, and then that's why it reminds me of saying, is this why Mark what's his name, Garagos has to represent her, because they gonna question her too? Laura Lisa, the wig is a mess. Yes, Laura Lee, that wig needs to go in the trash can. They need to have a funeral for her wigs. As much money as Diddy has, and she's wearing them Timu looking wigs. I mean, that's just crazy. That's crazy. Okay, we got to update you guys. We got to update 4 minutes ago. This is the latest update. Okay. Combs' lawyer appears to try to dispel rumor baby oil was mixed with the date grape. Oh, they're talking about the date grape pill, the GHB. Remember, I just talked about that. I said that. Remember, the baby oil was mixed with the GHB, which is like a date grape medicine, whatever rug. Here it is right here. 4 minutes ago, this just came in hot off the press. Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers, Anna Esteveo, appeared to try to dispel the allegation that Sean Diddy Combs laced baby oil with date grape rug during questioning of Cassie Ventura. You testified yesterday you get Johnson & Johnson baby oil from the rug store, right? Esteveo asked. You testified yesterday you would heat up the baby oil, and that's the only thing you did to it, right? The defense attorney then asked, the pool filled with baby oil would require a lot, right? Ventura answered yes to all of the questions and appeared to be an attempt to shoot down a claim he doused one victim with lubricant mixed with the rug ro, 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 rohyphenol or GHB. Hey, Tehran, how are you? Yesterday, Ventura testified Combs once filled an inflatable pool with bottles of baby oil and other lubricants for a hotel room freak off, insisting the oil be heated and applied every 5 minutes. So his Rex show participants would be glistening. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. So they are getting to the point of asking about the GHB mix because remember they said it was 1,000 bottles? 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Why he got some 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Because he was running a whole operation. He was running a whole operation. Maybe he was running a whole operation. There's no way you go into somebody's house and saying, oh, why you got these 1,000 bottles of baby oil? You have to be running some type of operation. Some type of something is going on with 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Laura Lee says, ew, the Tootsie Roll. I know, right? They said a lady just came out yesterday with another lawsuit on Diddy talking about his eggplant is the size of a Tootsie Roll. Hey, Gary, how are you? So it's crazy. It is crazy. But the GHB, that is a date grape medicine, rug that was in the baby oil. And that is why I remember when he went on that Conan O'Brien interview, he said you got to lock the door. You got to give him some water. You got to turn the heat on. You got to put it on HE double hockey sticks. He likes the tuberose smell. Remember? So that's why. And then he puts the baby oil. So the baby oil, when you put the baby oil with the freak off GHB juice rug, it, I guess, loosens them up, makes them feel like, like they're high. Dida says freak off operation. Yes, a whole freak off operation. There's no way you go into somebody's house and say, girl, why you got all them Jerry Curl juice, carefree curl squeeze bottles? Oh, I just got it in there just for GP. I just want to look at them. This is just a decoration. No, that means maybe they got a hair salon or something, right? Maybe they do hair. They need to do Janice's wig all over again. I'm just saying. But they have a business. They have a operation, right? There's no way. Uh-oh, hold on. Hold on real quick, you guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, they have an operation going on, right? Something is going on. Gary says they need to put Bieber and Usher on the stand. They need to, because I want to know what really happened with Justin Bieber, because he is stressed out a little bit too much. He is going through a whole lot of stuff, right? I'm wondering, is it Justin Bieber? They say some of the Rex workers, Jonathan Audie's going to be on the stand. Y'all remember Jonathan Audie? He was in there singing like a songbird. And remember the police officer? He was like, okay, that's enough. Look, I'm tired of hearing about Diddy and Cassie and this, that, and the third. Remember? Remember that, you guys? Remember? Remember that? He was singing like a songbird. And he was saying all kind of stuff. And the police officer was like, boy, like, be quiet. We don't care. And then it happened to become true because they said that he is going to be testifying. Laura Lee says, I'm nosy. I can't wait. Me too. Gary says, agreed. I hope he's testifying when me and my baby go back down there. I hope he is, so I can lay some eyes on him, because I want to know. I want to hear it for myself and look with my own two eyes. Look at him. Look how he's sitting, how he's answering questions. I want to know everything because I'm nosy too, right? I'm nosy too when it comes to stuff like that. Because y'all, if y'all don't know, I love court cases. The last big court case that I loved, that you guys, it was outrageous and crazy as all get out, was Daryl Brooks. Daryl Brooks was one of the guys, the black guy that ran over those people in where was it at? Waukesha, Wisconsin. He, in the Christmas parade, he took his kid, his mama's truck, and ran through the crowd and unalived a lot of people. That court case was epic. That boy, when I say he ain't had no respect, he was talking to the judge like he was on the street talking to another dude. I was like, no, this got to be fake. This got to be a TV show. When I say that Joker was in there being so disrespectful to that judge, and after that court case, the judge, she got all kind of accolades. People were sending her all kind of flowers, all kind of gifts, because they were like, if this was me during that case, oh, it would have been, go put him in his jail cell, and we will see him in about 3 weeks until he can calm his tail down. Maybe one of the inmates need to beat him up and bring him back to reality, because his mama didn't do that. A whole nother Diddy situation, Diddy and Janice situation. But that Joker he was disrespectful to the all-time high. I was like, this Joker, I cannot believe that he was doing the most on the coast. But that's the court case. I love that court case. I was all ears in on that court case because that one was epic. I was like, this is the court case of the century, with him being crazy, acting like that. Some of the stuff was funny. I'm not even going to lie. But when I said it, oh my God, I wanted to go so bad to that court case too. I wanted to go so bad, but I wasn't able to make it. But man, I wanted to go because I was like, I want to see this Joker in action with my own two eyes. That Joker was a piece of work. Let me tell you, he was a piece of work. But let's see. Let me see what else they got going on. Hold on just a second, y'all. He was a piece of work. Hey, Tehran. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on just a second, y'all. Yeah, but that was crazy. That court case was epic. I was like, look at this little Joker right here. But I don't know. I don't think for one moment that Diddy's gonna get off on this. I don't think so. And I think this probably was the best way that they can bring these charges, because everybody's saying, oh no, he didn't have this, and this, that, and the third, and let me see. This, that, and the third. It's not gonna be this court case. Let me see. Let's see what this what they're saying. I got another source that is Another source that is hold on, they're about to, I'm trying to let it play before we get another update, because there's updates coming in like as we're waiting for updates. Let's see. I don't know why oh, there it goes. Okay, let's see what this update is.
Sean Diddy Combs trial facing questions from the defense. Right now, they're asking Cassie about messages surrounding her involvement in so-called freak-offs. In one 2009 message, Cassie wrote to Diddy, "When we used to freak off, when we were so in love, there were no questions asked. It felt right, like it literally made sense for the next step in our sex life together. I get nervous that I'm just becoming the girlfriend that you get your fantasies
These are more
off with,
updates,
and that's
you guys.
it. I don't get the other part." And the defense showed another message from 2009 where she told Diddy, quote, "I'm always ready to freak off." During her first 2 days on the stand, Cassie testified Diddy frequently beat her, threatened her, coerced her to have sex with strangers on camera, and made her plan the freak-off events. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and now the defense is trying to paint the picture of a complicated but consensual relationship. ABC's Rena Roy and ABC News legal contributor Bernardo Villalona are at the courthouse. Rena, what's the latest from court?
Well, Diane, I can tell you that jurors are seeing some very explicit text messages that are just too graphic to share on air here. But essentially what the defense is trying to show is that Cassie Ventura not only wanted to participate in these freak-offs, but that she enjoyed them in the beginning. In one text, as you mentioned, she said, "I'm always ready to freak off." They're also trying to show that as time went on, her reluctance to participate was only because she wanted more from the relationship. You read that text message that was also presented from the defense from 2009. Ventura wrote, "I get nervous that I'm just becoming the girlfriend that you get your fantasies off with, and that's it. I don't get the other part." So this is them just trying to take the guilt off of Combs and putting it on Ventura instead, and her insecurities about the relationship. Diane?
And Bernardo, the defense is showing these new messages to try to paint Cassie as a consensual partner in these freak-offs. Now, the prosecution had to know about these messages, right? So why not bring them up while they were questioning her?
Facts, Laura.
Absolutely, Diane, because you have to think it is the prosecution that turned over these messages to the defense in discovery. So obviously the prosecution was well aware of these messages and what the context of these messages. So in terms of why the prosecutor wouldn't have brought that out during the direct examination, they must have a plan. They must have a plan, because they also didn't mention this during opening statements. So this may backfire on them. I am concerned for the prosecution. But then again, we have hours and hours of cross-examination to still endeavor. So, Diane.
And Bernarda, we're also getting an update from court now where they're reading more text messages where Cassie and Diddy are talking about how they often made love after these freak-offs. How is the prosecution, you think, going to handle all of this on redirect?
Well, the prosecution is definitely going to focus on the timeline. So remember, this is an 11-year relationship. So while things may have been good in the beginning, that is different in the sense of how this relationship actually progressed. So the prosecution is going to continue, and they're going to look at this timeline and redirect her back to that state of mind where she was actually being coerced by Sean Combs.
Rena, what are you watching for next?
Well, look, Diane, we're likely going to see much more of the same throughout today and possibly even tomorrow. This same line of questioning that we are seeing from the defense, because this is really getting to the heart of their argument when it comes to coercion here. They are going to keep poking holes, trying to poke holes in Ventura's testimony here, and try to show that she was an eager sexual partner who matched Combs's desires. So we're going to be seeing similar line of questioning throughout the rest of the day.
All right, Rena Roy, Bernardo Villalona, thank you.
Wow.
What if your smile could go from
So y'all, I don't know. I don't know. It's there. Hold on, let me put my phone back up there. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. All I'm saying is I want to know what the outcome is going to be. There's going to be a lot of cross-examinations. Gary says nasty. Michael Marber says Lil Rod is going to finish Diddy. You know what? Little Rod went to the first court on Monday Little Rodney, he was there. And Little Rodney was there, but I haven't seen or heard of anybody saying that he went back. So I don't know. I don't know. Okay, that was the last update 21 minutes ago. So there's no current updates. Dida says nasty, but a nasty cereal yeah, I know. Laura Lee says we have ways to go. Yeah, because they slated this all the way up until June for 2 months. So that's an 8-week trial that they're giving it. Who's to say it may be ending before? Who's to say it may, go past the 8 weeks? We don't know yet. We gotta see, how everything is gonna play out. From what I'm hearing and understanding, there's gonna be a lot of witnesses, a lot of the Rex workers coming to testify. So it's crazy. Tammy says it's just the beginning. Yes, it is just the beginning. It is just the beginning. Universum 2, I do think that he is guilty of I mean, maybe they call it Rex trafficking. I'm thinking that from what I'm understanding and reading, because I looked up the let's see, the federal let me see, federal law, let me see, the federal law on trafficking. Let's Google that. The federal law on trafficking, let me see. The federal law on oh yeah, Michael Marble says the Mann Act. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, because right here it says 18 USC 1591 federal laws on Rex trafficking explained. And then we'll read the Mann Act. So it says Rex trafficking is a serious federal crime in the United States and 18 USC 1591 in the primary law used to prosecute offenders. Let me see what it says. Let me see. Because it had, let me see. Because it broke it down. Let me see. Jurisdiction. It says federal jurisdiction applies when trafficking activities affect interstate or foreign commerce. A standard courts interpret expensively. Even minimal connections such as using hotel rooms, mobile cell phones, or online advertisement can establish federal oversight, making most trafficking cases such a federal prosecution. So that's what it says. This is the federal law. This is a federal law. So what I'm thinking is when he was taking Cassie to different states and then having the Rex workers come, remember he was paying the Rex workers. That's the prostitution, the P word, prostitution. When he was paying them for Rex, prostitution, that's illegal. Can't pay, you're not supposed to be paying nobody for the Rex, right? Nobody to get your cheese clapped. You're not supposed to do that. So what I'm thinking is the way that they have it set up is because Cassie was basically kind of like Diddy's Rex ragdoll, was making her do all this stuff. And at one point, just one point out of the many, just at one time they seen her saying that she didn't want to do it. That was basically against her will. So that's making her do something that she don't want to do. Like, remember when they said she had a surprise birthday party Diddy gave her? And then he made it, try to turn it into a freak off, and she didn't want to do it. So some of those text messages where she didn't want to do it and she was forced to do it, that was falls into what I believe when what I'm understanding the Rex trafficking. When people are coming and they're paying to have Rex, that's prostitution. So Mark Michael says that's enough to arrest and seek conviction. Yes. You know, it only takes that one time. They seen all the tape stuff that they have. They seen numerous times, like where he was holding her against her will. That's kidnapping. Not allowing her to leave the hotel. Remember, she was calling, then he would like hitting her, slapping her, kicking her, and made her go back in the room or whatever. I think he made her go back in the room, I believe. But he basically wasn't allowing her to leave. So all of that stuff, they are looking at these little itty bitty things. These little itty bitty things. And I'm not saying itty bitty, but these little things that people are not paying attention to is what got him in trouble. D-Dot says, once I see a boo-boo and pee on the walls, I'm out of there. Yeah, that's what they were saying. That is disgusting. Like, why would you want to smell that? Why would you want to be in the midst of that? That's disgusting. Michael says, holding her against the will. Yeah, that's kidnapping. That's the kidnapping. Let's see. I think there's an update. Let me see. Uh-oh. Let me see. I think there may be an update, you guys. But yeah, so all these things that we're not like really like paying attention to, or maybe not even saying not paying attention to, all these things we're not thinking about, that could be the reason for those certain charges, is the reason for these charges. He forced her to work, like she said, it was like a job. Holding her hostage, yes, D-Dot. When you hold somebody hostage and then you're making them do all this virtual stuff, and then you're going from one state to another, and then you're having her order. I mean, they said she even had like alias names that she used to use whenever she used to set up the freak offs, you know, with the people. And then when she was when they would come over, she would be in like some kind of masquerade. He would be with the bandana across his face in disguise. Michael says, and rugging them, yes. Then remember, they said he had them weapons with the obliterated serial number, and you know that's a felon. That's a federal offense. You cannot have a weapon and you obliterate the serial number. That's illegal. So I'm telling you guys. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Uh-oh. Hold on. It says. Let me see. Is there another update? Let me see. It says another update came through. Okay, no, we read about that. Okay, we read about that. Okay, that was the latest update. But it is it's going down, y'all. I'm telling you. It is going down. It is going down. Jamie says it's only 6 months in jail. Shelby, see you later. Have a good one. Yeah, so I don't know, y'all. I mean, it's like I said, it's like two ways you could think of it. That, you know, people have their own opinion, which everybody should, right? You have your own opinion, and you know, believe in what you believe in. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, you can agree to disagree respectfully, but I just believe hey, gamer Johns, welcome. I just believe that these situations that happened and occurred is, of course, what alerted the feds to even do all of this. The feds just didn't do all this, and we have to wait. This is only the beginning of the trial. Sure, they have a whole lot of evidence. Antonio says she could have been left, but money is happiness these days. I wouldn't want nothing from you if I was treated like that by someone I love. Yes, Antonio, you're right. And that's where I'm saying to you guys that Diddy took her in and, like, he used her as, pretty much this, as a rec slave. Um, Gary update. P Dookie took a Dookie in. He was a mess, Gary. You is the best. Michael Marble says it's over for P Kelly. Hey, Miss AKA, y'all is a mess, but y'all, we're gonna keep you guys updated. It's getting late in the day, so the last update was like 30 minutes ago. So I'm sure they're probably wrapping up right now because it's already almost 5 o'clock. So they should be wrapping up and getting prepared for, a lot of people are going to come on. The news station and stuff are going to give us, more of a in-depth, report on what happened. Two Fly says clapping cheeks. What you know about that? My baby is the one who kind of not made up clapping cheeks, but he's always talking about the clapping cheeks. Michael Marble says, "Go relax, you earned it." Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Loving Myself says, "Yes, they waiting for them to come out." Yeah, they're waiting for them to come out and give their, like I said, give their kind of their roll up, their report on what happened. So we're gonna see what happens. We know that it was a little bit intense, but not in a like a rough way. But it was a little intense for Cassie because she kind of seemed like she was like, "Look, let me tell you something. This is not what's important right now, ma'am. There's other things that you didn't miss that you didn't ask me. There's a whole big old gap in between that you ain't said. Let's roll it back. Let's rewind it." So we'll see. Gary says, "Sorry, just throwing a little humor in there." Oh no, Gary, you good? You good? Yeah, but we're gonna see what today's court case entails, you guys. But y'all keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel. If y'all find out something, send me a message on IG, the lounge 8385 on Instagram. I'm there. I'm also on TikTok, the lounge 8385 on all my social media platforms. So you guys can check me out there. So Michael says, where Diddy gets to the poke. Wait, when Diddy gets to the pokey, they gonna do him like Tory Lanez. I know the Tory Lanez is like stuff is going crazy, right? Thank you, Two Fly. I was like, wow, what is y'all? 2025 has been crazy. 2025 is like rocking, like strong, like a whole ocean current, like a heavy one with some undertows. So what's it called? Undertows? Yeah. The little current that's like the undertows that goes, you will snatch you up under. I'm just saying, y'all, it's crazy, but y'all, I am not going to keep y'all. How ironic, P Dookie is in the Pookie. Gary, you was the best. You was the best, Gary. You was the best. Oh my God. But y'all, I'm not gonna keep y'all. I'm gonna continue to bring y'all the tea. If it's some more than what I kind of went over today, anything like breaking or whatever, I will definitely bring it back to you guys live. Hi, Mr. Creeper. Hi, welcome. Doris says Cassie should not even be allowed to give her testimony because she has already settled her case involving Diddy. Well, Doris, not sure if you know, whenever you sign an NDA or whenever you have a situation and it's in the midst of a crime according to the law, you will come back and be on the stand telling your story. That's just the law. D-Dot says, did you see the Ray? Oh, Lord. No, I did not see Ray J. Oh, my God. Ray J is a mess. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that, D-Dot. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm gonna have to look it up. Antonio says, can't ride the train and then decide when you want to get off because you want to get off. I don't know. I mean, to me, I feel like it was graphic and some like disgusting stuff. Dita said you would crack up. I'm gonna have to check it out. Let me put it in my little listing to do to check out. Let me see. Um, but let me see. So I don't know, cause I don't know, you guys. I'm like I said, I'm on like on two I'm like on like two different things. I don't know. The Dida says the lounge. It's a short video though. What platform is it on, Dida? Let me see. Let me look it up. Let me see. Cause you know Ray J, he be doing the most on the coast. Oh, okay? Let me look it up. Let me see. Let me see. What do I put? Ray J dance or what? Ray J dance. Dida. Let me see. Hi, Quinn. Let me see. Okay, okay, hold on. Let me see. I see some. Okay, hold on. I see something 3 weeks ago, but let me see. Let's see if I see something recent. Did you see the Ray J dance, babe?
A Ray J dance?
Yeah, D-Dot's asking about the Ray J.
Absolutely not.
You didn't see it?
No, I ain't see it, but you know Ray J a mess.
Mm-hmm. He's dressed in black. Okay, let me see. Oh, hold on. I think I see it, D-Dot. Oh, I think I see it. Let me see. Let me see. Is it this? What in the world? Oh my God. What in the world, Ray J? Oh my God. Ray J, you need to go and sit down somewhere. Is that your dance for your TV show? Because isn't he doing like a drag TV show or something? Yes. Loving myself says zesty. Oh yes, he is zesty. He is a zest monster, right? That is so zesty. Ray J is a mess, y'all. I don't know. I'm telling you. That's what I said, Tammy. Like, what in the world? Ray J, go sit down and have a seat. What was that all about? No, y'all. These folks in Hollywood, y'all, they is out to lunch, right? Love myself say he's finally coming out of the closet and being comfortable in his skin. I know, right? Laura says, "What's in the Smokey Robinson?" Y'all, these people crazy. This Hollywood is off the chain. I mean, Smokey Robinson. I mean, Shannon Sharp, y'all. Oh my God, be that. Remember you were telling me about some Miss Netta or something? I didn't even look. I was just scrolling through my phone, minding my business. Look, minding my business. And Miss Netta pops up, D-Dot. I was like, whoa, this what D-Dot was talking about. So is Miss Netta? Is Miss Netta a trans or something? I don't want to be disrespectful. Is she a trans? Or is it somebody acting? Or is Miss Netta like real? Like I'm trying to figure out. Tammy says this, yes. Because I was like, Miss Netta, like I heard D Dot kept on talking about Miss Netta. So when I was scrolling through my phone, it popped up Miss Netta, and I'm looking, and I'm like, is this real? Is it real, y'all? Love It By Itself says, Miss Netta, Charles, your dinner is ready. Yes, that's a bet. I mean, I thought so, but I was like, her name is Joe. Yes. That's why I was like, D Dot is a mess. I was like, oh, I ran into Miss Netta. I was like, okay, hi, Miss Netta. Nice to meet you. I mean, scrolling through my phone. Hey, Teresa. Teresa says, hey, partner, what's going on? Hey, Teresa, I was just giving updates on the Cassie on the stand. I hope you're having a great day, Teresa. Jane says, hello, beautiful. Hello, how are you? But yeah, y'all, I met Miss Netta, and I was like, OMG. Okay, I thought it was a joke. I was like, is this like acting or something? Is this like Big Mama's house? I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay. Loving Myself says Charles was his prison. Oh my God, y'all. I was like, this is a little bit too much over here. I was like, no, D Dot is playing with my emotions when he said Miss Netta. I was thinking of maybe I don't know. I was thinking of you know when people like kind of talk to you or tell you something like D Dot was talking about Ray J. I was like, oh Lord, what does he got to do? What is he probably even wearing? But when you were telling me about Miss Netta, I was like already putting a picture in my mind of Miss Netta. And then when Miss Netta popped up on my phone, I was like, ooh, I kind of like jumped back a little bit. I was like, Miss Netta. I was like, okay. I was like, no, this can't be the Netta the D Dot talking about. And when I started, I'm like, I was confused. It was so suspicious to me. I was like, what in the world? Like, we love everybody at the lounge, but I was just when you were saying yes that he is that Miss Netta, aka like Shannon Sharp, I was like, yes, they do look like twins. I'm just saying. I was like, oh my God. But y'all, it is getting crazy. But I did want to tell you that to you, D Dot. But it's crazy. It is crazy, y'all. We're gonna see what's going on. They're gonna I know they're probably kind of getting out the courthouse. Dom, thank you. They're probably getting out the courthouse. They're trying to probably get out, start bringing the news station and all that. Start bringing us the notes, everything that went on throughout the day, like all the highlights, the takeaways on Cassie's testimony today. So y'all, we're gonna bring it to you guys. We'll see how much information that I can get, and then if I get enough information to go live, then I'll definitely do that. If not, I'll probably do a video or some shorts. But y'all keep your head on the swivel. Thanks for stopping in. If y'all are on the replay, make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in or out. And if you guys haven't and the live, smash the like button on y'all's way out. But y'all, I'm not gonna keep y'all. We are going to do it again in the next video. So always leave with love, peace, and tranquility, y'all. And we're gonna go back to New York, me and my baby. So we're gonna be bringing it to you guys live. So we'll see. So I'll see you guys on the next live.